Hello, this is Pam Neely, and this tutorial we're going to talk about basically how to get into your subscribers' heads and find out what they desperately want to know. You can use these techniques to create any kind of content. You could write an entire full-fledged traditional book from what we're going to be talking about. You could also create, webinars, blog posts, ebooks, and of course, lead magnets. And we're really going to kind of focus on lead magnets. The very first thing we want to do is start with the end in mind, as people say. And we want to think about who is your ideal subscriber. I don't want you to just get anybody on your list. I want people on your list who are really going to, grow your business, move your project forward, make your blog self-sustaining, whatever the end goal is. And so we have to figure out who are your very best people. Often the easiest way to answer that question is to just kind of 80-20 rule it. And if you don't know, the 80-20 rule is where you get basically 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts. It's kind of a sneaky little unwritten rule of the universe and especially of work that almost everything tends to break out that way. Sometimes it's even a 90-10 rule. Of course, it switches with everything you do, but generally, if you look at your audience, you're going to find that there's a very small group of people, or, a modestly sized group of people that has contributed really the bulk of results for your business, your project, your school, whatever your thing is that you're trying to grow. That small group of people who are really, like driving the engine, those are your ideal subscribers. Those are the people we want to get on your list. And, obviously, to find more of them. So once you kind of know who these people are generally, the next thing to really figure out is what they have in common, because we want to find more of them. And that's typically the questions that you ask for that are, where do they get their news? Which blogs do they read? Where do they shop? Where do they live? That sort of stuff. What we really want to do is, for our project, because we're largely doing, an information thing here, unless you are an e-commerce site and then you've got a simple job, but that you guys are different. Really, for anyone watching this video, you're basically creating kind of a little micro information product that you're going to use to get people on your list. And so what we want to do is find places where your ideal audience gathers and shares ideas, and particularly where they comment. Great places to do this are groups, Facebook group, LinkedIn groups, Yahoo groups. Forums are excellent. Popular blogs looking at the comments are great. And there's also a hidden resource in Amazon book reviews. So this, of course, is Amazon. This is a book. You can do this with products, though, too. You can do it with software. You can do it with anything you want. But the real gold here in our market research, which is basically what we're doing, is down here in the reviews. And so you can learn an awful lot about your audience by reading these reviews. Maybe that's 15 minutes, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 3 hours if you're feeling really like going in depth. But I would encourage you to at least take some looks at Amazon reviews, because they can teach you a lot about what people are concerned about. In addition to the Amazon reviews, of course, you're going to be reading Yahoo comments, Yahoo questions, answers, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups. You should be spending at least an hour on all those different sites, gathering your understanding and gathering resources, too, of what people are saying and where they've said it. It's a really good idea to take notes about what common questions you're seeing over and over. You will start to see trends. I mean, it may take an hour or half an hour of research, but you will always, I've never seen it not happen, where certain trends start to emerge. Those are going to be your very best lead magnet topics. Some other places, if you want to be extra thorough or you have more time, Quora is great. YouTube comments are the bomb. Some of you will get your best insights from YouTube comments. There's a thing called Blopboard, which is basically a Q&A site. It's kind of like Quora meets Upworthy, I think is the best way to describe it. And then I've mentioned Yahoo Answers all along. So those are also good places to keep doing some research. The next completely different technique for finding out what people want to know is to research what your competitors are doing. Just to start, you're going to want to sign up for your competitors' email newsletters. You're going to want to start following them on social media. You can also use a really cool tool called BuzzSumo to find out which pieces of their content have gotten the most attention. So this is BuzzSumo, and so I will type in a URL, but you could type in a keyword as well. Let's just do CNN. And so this will show us the most shared content for CNN over any one of these time frames. Say we want to do something in the last month because we want to have something that's really current. And say you are a video person and you want to only look at which videos have done best on CNN. You could then see which videos have done best on CNN. Now, let's say you're interested in the Ice Bucket Challenge. So that would be what you could do as well, is do CNN Ice Bucket. This is the most shared video in the last month from CNN about ice buckets. You can tell where it's been shared, total shares, and you can also see view shares, so you can tell who's obviously been sharing this content. All these people might be opportunities for you to reach out and either let them know that you've got a new lead magnet, or possibly I'm not seeing a lot of it right now, but it's very common for this list to include websites that are related to the topic. And so then you can go to those websites and see what's going on in their comments and what content they're publishing. The next really good thing that's related to this kind of research is Google Alerts. This will not help you today, honestly, but it can help you as soon as tomorrow. Google Alerts is basically the simplest way to set up what's called a listening station. So you can just, gather information automatically from the web as it appears. And it's really easy to set up. All you have to do is create this tulips alert. And so this will tell me once a week whenever there's new content about tulips. And I can choose which sources I want. Say again, I'm a video person, and say English, any region. But if you only wanted United States, that would narrow your results. You can get absolutely everything. Frankly, I might recommend the best results because otherwise you're going to get a lot of information, and most of it's going to be like directory listings and not very helpful. And then you can choose where you want the email to go to, and you just create the alert. It's very simple. It takes 20 seconds to set them up. And that's another way to kind of keep track of what people are thinking about and talking about in your niche. Finally, Topsy is really good for determining if you've picked a topic that's got enough interest. And so it lets you compare different search terms, how many times they've been tweeted and retweeted. And let me show you this. So say you're thinking about, should I do a lead magnet about tulips or should I do a lead magnet about roses? You can put in tulips and it will show you, tweets over the past 30 days. Again, you get to filter very nicely. Let's look at this view. And this is where we can compare. So we've got tulips versus roses and say versus lilies. Now, what should we write our lead magnet about? Okay, so you would definitely want to be writing your lead magnet about roses because there are more tweets, retweets, and activity on roses than there are for tulips and lilies combined times 100. So that's why Topsy is kind of cool. Again, it's just a tool for you to know about and use if you'd like. Last thing I want to tell you about for lead magnets and just for generating any kind of content idea is Google Trends. This is really a way to tell over time. Again, it's similar to Topsy, but it gives you a much larger time frame and it will give you information that Topsy can't because, again, this is in a sense, it's the search engine version of Topsy. But let's look at tulips. And so this will tell us there's always a spike in April for tulips. What a surprise. And you can tell where the interest is most for tulips. Iran, not too surprisingly. And tulips are from this area. And you want this rising here because that will tell you which terms are over, I think it's over 1,000. So in the last month, I think, bunga tulip, hoa tulip, these sorts of things have absolutely, completely broken out as being something that there's a real spike of interest in. And so that might help you think of a lead magnet topic. Say if you were doing something like personal coaching. It's been falling down a little, but let's see what the rising interest is. Personal development. It's really breaking out. Coaching jobs. Fitness coaching. Interesting. Online coaching. And so that would give you an idea of what the hot breakout terms are for your niche. All in, expect to spend at least an hour. Bare minimum an hour, and preferably 4 or even possibly 6 hours doing research on what your audience wants to know. Again, you are certainly doing this for your lead magnet, and that's probably what you've got top of mind, but this is also a beautiful opportunity to come up with the next year's ideas worth of blog posts. So use an Excel sheet, capture those links, and that way you can save them to your bookmarking service. You can also be using this opportunity to find guest blog posts or sites that you might want to partner with. Basically, this is all market research, and so there's a lot of different things you can do with this information. It will help you a lot going down the road. You will write better blog posts after you've done this research. You'll also be creating a lead magnet that has a really good shot to do like 3 times better than if you did no research. I'm almost sure you're going to have a lead magnet. I have yet to have anyone go through this process and not have an idea for a lead magnet. You'll probably have 3 to 5 of them. In the next tutorial, we're going to talk about basically how to pick which topic to create a lead magnet from this whole field of ideas that you've been looking at. And so we're going to talk about what topic would be easiest for you to create a lead magnet about, and then what format should that topic be delivered in. Should it be an email course? Should it be a video course? That sort of thing. And so I hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.